Checkity check.
1, 2, 1, 2.
It's Wednesday, November 30th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a man sentenced for several area robberies, kittens rescued from a storm drain, and field lights debate ongoing in Darien. Frank Granito joins us later with a Nutmeg sports update and a look at the forecast, and Donald Eng will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Bridgeport man was sentenced to more than 10 years in federal prison in connection to an armed robbery spree in 2014 that involved Fairfield, Bridgeport, Shelton, and Westport, along with an attempted armed robbery in Stratford, according to authorities. 30-year-old Derek Gilliam received 121 months of imprisonment, followed by 3 years of supervised release in the sentence handed down by Chief U.S. District Judge Janet C. Hall in Bridgeport on Tuesday. According to court documents and statements made in court, Gilliam, along with another suspect, Lancelot Supersod, and others, committed robberies at several banks and businesses. Gilliam also brandished and pointed what appeared to be a handgun at employees during each of those 7 robberies. And Milford police said they pursued burglary suspects down Interstate I-95 when it resulted in a crash in the Milford area. At least one suspect remains at large, according to police, and WFSB reports that initial call came in around 5 in the morning. An eyewitness reported seeing people loading power equipment from a shed into a van in the area of Naugatuck Avenue between Beaverbrook Road. The caller noticed a van idling in the roadway as men loaded objects into it. A local police officer responded and saw the suspects flee, but didn't initiate a pursuit. The officer did radio other officers, including a canine unit, who spotted the van. Police said they anticipated the suspects to flee, so they had officers ready ahead of the projected route, including on I-95. Once they tried to stop the vehicle, the driver of the van lost control and it struck a Milford Police canine SUV, which was positioned ahead of them. 2 of the 3 suspects inside the vehicle were captured right away, and they're expected to be hit with burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle charges. They suffered some minor injuries. One suspect's injuries were from the crash, and the other suffered a bite wound from the canine. The 3rd victim remains on the loose. Police said he ran. He's described as a light-skinned male in his 20s. The officer in the canine SUV, however, was not seriously hurt. And Wilton police rescued a man trapped inside a burning car on New Canaan Road last Wednesday around 8:45 at night. 26-year-old Hunter Stanfield of 30 Bittersweet Trail was removed from the car fire before it engulfed the entire vehicle. The car was in the roadway on New Canaan Road. Officers supplied first aid and he went to Norwalk Hospital with minor injuries. The incident resulted in the road being closed for a period of time, and there is a pending criminal investigation, according to police. The Richfield Police Department is warning residents about a scam involving a letter and a check from the Multi-State Lottery Association. Richfield Captain Jeff Kreitz said that the letter requests that the recipient call a listed telephone number and speak with the claims representative. The representative would then request that the recipient wire money to cover insurance fees for his or her winnings. Police said the scam intends for the check recipient to lose that money they wire and that the check sent to them is worthless. And 4 kittens were rescued from a storm drain on the Quinnipiac University campus on Tuesday. Students discovered the kittens trapped in the storm drain on Monday night, and crews were able to rescue the 4 trapped animals by Tuesday. The rescue effort was coordinated by police, first responders, public work crews, the university, and an animal rescue group. 2 kittens were rescued early in the morning on Tuesday, while it took a bit more effort to save the remaining 2. Hamden police posted on Facebook that due to the impending rain, they had contacted Public Works and informed personnel there that several sandbags were needed to prevent that storm drain from flooding. Hamden Public Works responded with 7 sandbags, and an animal rescue group, Super Paws Inc., provided animal control with a plastic tarp to further prevent any flooding. Quinnipiac University contacted a local contractor who used a motorized camera device to place into the storm drain, and when that device was placed in the drain, those 2 remaining kittens walked into the netting and were rescued. The 4 kittens were secured by Super Paws Rescue Inc., where they'll be medically evaluated, and once they obtain a clean bill of health, they will be available for adoption. And yesterday in Darien, a truck once again hit the overpass on the Post Road near the Darien train station. This time it did not get stuck like in this photo from October, but there was debris in the road, and Darien police were advising drivers to avoid that area on a rainy Tuesday. Tuesday's incident marks the 10th such incident with the overpass and a vehicle too high hitting it or getting stuck under it in 2016. That according to Darien's Police Sergeant Jeremiah Marin. The frequency of those incidents have been reduced by some signs that the DOT installed on I-95 near Darien at exits 11, 12, and 13 in both directions. But let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Overcast and foggy throughout Fairfield County this morning, and mild conditions and temperatures in the mid-50s. We will see more rain this afternoon with on and off showers expected through midnight tonight, a low of 52 overnight. Rain will continue on into the early hours of Thursday morning. Mostly cloudy in the AM tomorrow with mild conditions again. An expected high of 57 on Thursday with intervals of sunshine and clouds in the afternoon. Breezy as well with temperatures beginning to drop before Thursday night. It'll be colder tomorrow as we will see that number drop all the way down into the high 30s. Friday will bring plenty of sunshine though with cool conditions, an expected high of 52 degrees and a steady breeze of around 15 miles per hour during the afternoon. Wind gusts could reach as high as 25 miles per hour points in time during the day before what should be a mostly clear Friday night with chilly temperatures. And then we could be looking at a very overcast and gray weekend, Kate.
All right. Thanks, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has a Nutmeg Sports update, and we have some more local news, including the ongoing debate about field lights in Darien, coming up after this.
This is now 44 years I've been in this business. Digital came along. After I was in business for about 6 years, I had to totally reinvent the business. So I had to make a tremendous investment in my business. And Milford Bank was there for me. I don't really just consider Milford Bank a bank. I consider them a trusted partner in my business. My name is Jim Wilson, owner of Milford Photo. I choose to bank with Milford Bank.
Are you ready for winter? Ski and Sport has everything you need to be fully outfitted for the season. A family-owned and operated business with over 40 years of experience, Ski and Sport's 3 convenient locations in Fairfield County offer top-quality, high-fashion ski and winter wear. In addition to clothing for men, women, and children, we also offer seasonal rentals for the entire family. Stop by our stores on 1 Ethan Allen Highway in Ridgefield, 877 Post Road East in Westport, and at 110 Main Street in New Canaan, or visit us at skiandsport.net.
Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit elevationspintraintrx.com for more.
Manfredi New Canaan is a dream come true for locals Kim and Roberto. Their Elm Street store features Rolex, Hermes, and design jewelry collections from everyday classic gold to diamond jewelry. Manfredi offers a range of services from simple jewelry and watch repair to elegant jewelry design. Let Manfredi New Canaan help you find the perfect gift to celebrate important life moments. Visit us at 72 Elm Street, New Canaan, or online at manfredijewels.com.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
We're back on this November 30th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with our own Donald Ing. Don.
Well, Kate, a global giant birthed on this day. First, we go all the way back to 1804. The Senate, controlled by the Democratic Republican Party, begins impeachment hearings against Federalist Supreme Court Justice Samuel Chase. Appointed by George Washington, Chase was accused of allowing his political leanings to cloud his judicial decisions. President Thomas Jefferson accused Chase of leading a power grab by the Supreme Court. You didn't think that accusing judges of acting politically was a new thing, did you? To 1965 we go. 32-year-old Ralph Nader publishes the book Unsafe at Any Speed, The Designed-In Dangers of the American Automobile. The book became a bestseller right away, and it prompted the passage of the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act of 1966. Also, the enactment of seatbelt laws in 49 states. The lone holdout, New Hampshire. Apparently they take that license plate motto seriously. Also, a number of other road safety initiatives, including padded dashboards, collapsible steering columns, and safety glass. Despite the fact that there are a lot more cars driving a lot more miles today than there were in 65, the fatality rate on the highways 1/5 of what it was back then. To 1982, Michael Jackson releases his second solo album, Thriller, worldwide. It would become the best-selling album in history, 32 million in sales in just the U.S. It also spawned 7 top 10 singles. Rolling Stone magazine lists it at number 20 on the list of the greatest albums of all time. Finally, now we go to 1998 for this.
Actually, this is good news, as we've seen already with BP and Amoco. The opportunity for these businesses to cut out an enormous level of cost, and measured not into the millions but billions of dollars, really is very significant, and that's good news for shareholders.
That was Exxon and Mobil signing a $73 billion agreement to merge, thus creating the company ExxonMobil, the world's largest, by the way. The company currently employs 75,000 people worldwide and reported revenues of $268 billion last year, which, if ExxonMobil were a country, would place it 41st on the GNP list, right behind Pakistan and right ahead of Chile. That is your look back in history for today, November 30th, and I'm Donald Ing.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Back to local news. A plan to renovate baseball fields in New Canaan with a private-public partnership is leading to a lot of discussion. The New Canaan Advertiser reports that between October 12th, when New Canaan Baseball presented a plan for renovating and funding Mead Park's 2 youth baseball fields to the Parks and Recreation Commission, and November 22nd, when they presented those plans to the Board of Selectmen, the plan changed from privately funding the project to proposing that the town pay about $500,000 of the expense. When New Canaan Baseball started their presentations to the town at the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting about major renovations to Mellick and Gamble baseball fields, they told the commission that they would be fundraising for the project, and there was no mention that New Canaan Baseball would be asking the town to share the costs. That, according to Recreation Director Steve Benko. But you can get a lot more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank, you got a little wet yesterday.
Just a little wet. We were at Boyle Stadium last night covering the start of the state football playoffs with a number 1 versus number 8 matchup in the Class XXL quarterfinals. It was a rematch between Darien and Greenwich. and it was nothing like that first game we saw in Week 3. Coming off a grueling Thanksgiving matchup and a short week, the undefeated Blue Wave dominated from start to finish, holding Greenwich to only 3 points en route to a 29-3 victory. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from last night's game.
1st and 10 now on the 13-yard line.
That's a big 15-yarder.
And it's even bigger when Finley Collins takes the carry over the goal line. Touchdown, Darien, as the Blue Wave strike first. Crazies trying to urge this defense on. Showing like they're going to come. They drop back in pressure. Wide open down the sideline. Looking for a man. Touchdown, Darien. It's Max Grant with his 9th touchdown catch of the year.
I've had to say, not definite, but it could be some sort of fibula injury for Connor Langen. Timetable to return is unknown.
Ball is tipped, going up for it with one hand. Touchdown, Darien. What a play by Nick Green.
The coverage was there. Green was just positioned right.
On the 5-yard line, they give to Collins one more time. Splits the hole in with ease. Touchdown, Darien. And the Blue Wave extend the lead.
So congratulations to the Blue Wave again. Darien will now play against Southington in a rematch from the 2015 Class LL semifinal, which the Blue Wave won 41-7. Also in Class LL, Ridgefield knocked off West Haven 28-21 after falling behind 21-7 early in that game. They will advance to the semifinals for the first time this decade. The Tigers will also travel to Shelton now, where they will face the number 6 Shelton Gales, who eliminated Newtown in their first round game last night. In Class L, New Canaan survived a late push from number 7 Massac thanks to a last-minute field goal from Grant Morse to win 31-28. New Canaan will now host Notre Dame of West Haven Monday night next week in another 2015 semifinal rematch. And finally, in Class M, St. Joe's was the big winner over Wolcott, 48-21 in their opening game. The Cadets will now travel to play number 1 seed Valley Old Lyme in the semifinals on Monday night. For more on the CIAC state tournament, tune into Nutmeg Sports this afternoon at 2 o'clock with Kevin Coleman and myself. And again, we'd like to congratulate the Greenwich Cardinals on a great year. Kate, we mentioned it last night on the broadcast, just the help that the Cardinals did with us and our Make-A-Wish kid, Ben McFadden. It was such a special team to get to know this year, and so cool to see how they brought Ben along with them.
Yeah, and Ben's still a big part of the team, so very cool. Really happy to see that. Thanks so much, Frank.
Of course, Kate.
All right, in other news today, Ridgefield residents concerned about the possible opening of a commercial enterprise in their neighborhood have formed an opposition alliance called Ridgefield Neighborhood Preservation Alliance. Spearheaded by residents in the West Mountain area, the group has now expanded to others around town, also concerned about the precedent a zoning amendment would set. Mountainside, a for-profit drug and alcohol rehabilitation facility, requested a zone amendment to allow them to operate a facility by special permit at 162 and 150 Old West Mountain Road at a density of 3 beds per acre. The property at 162 Old West Mountain Road is known as Sunset Hall, once the residence of the late actor Robert Vaughn, and comprises about 5.5 acres. The adjacent property is an additional 8 acres. Mountainside, owned by Artemis, runs a 75-acre facility in Canaan, Connecticut. Catherine Nelligan, spokesman for RNPA, says that their group's goal is to convince the Town Planning and Zoning Board to support their town's plan of conservation and development and vote no to preserve Ridgefield's residential neighborhoods. We'll be talking a lot more about that story with Ridgefield press editor Steve Coulter on CT Pulse at 12:30. And the Darien Board of Education's most recent proposal for permanent field lights at Darien High School was founded on a set of guidelines produced by a group of neighbors in cooperation with Superintendent Dan Brenner and Selectman Ron Richards. However, as the proposal has come to fruition, some neighbors have expressed concern that the details don't match their expectations. During a public hearing before Planning and Zoning on Tuesday, neighbors raised concerns about traffic and noise management in the area, but remain generally in support of the lights overall. As it stands, the project would install 4 80-foot poles for permanent LED lighting at Darien High School, along with a new PA system. Additionally, the Board of Education has agreed to plant an evergreen tree barrier to create additional screening for neighbors there. If approved by Planning and Zoning Commission, the proposal would move forward to the Board of Finance and the representative town meeting for further approvals. On Tuesday night, the Darien Planning and Zoning Commission also unanimously elected Republican John Cini as its chairman, replacing previous chairman and fellow Republican Susan Cameron. Cini's chairmanship comes at a pivotal time in the town's P&Z agenda as those public hearings on those permanent lights have started. In September, a decade after permanent lights were denied, a mandatory referral by P&Z, the commission voted to let the plan be heard. There's a lot more on both of those stories at DarienTimes.com. And Fairfield County nonprofit Volunteer Square has launched a new campaign to collect stories from the community about holiday volunteer traditions. The campaign seeks to inspire and celebrate volunteers in Connecticut while donating the gift of time to local nonprofits in need. For every story submitted, they will pay it forward by giving 1 hour of service to a nonprofit. All hours will be completed after January 1st, 2017, and accepted submissions will be posted live on volunteersquare.com as inspiration for those looking to start their own volunteer tradition. You can get a lot more information at any of our HAN Network news sites. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today, as well as check out a local tree lighting in Stratford coming up after this.
At Hoyt Livery, our goal is to always... Sam, what are you doing? We're filming a commercial.
I'm checking out the new Hoyt on the Go app. Hoyt's here!
What makes Darien special during the holiday season? Locally owned shops and restaurants where you can find everything you need to make your holidays more enjoyable. Start with breakfast, then shop for everything from toys to unique gifts and the latest trends in fashion. Take a coffee break. Stop at our farmers market or one of our shops where you'll find an amazing selection of cheeses and meats. Then enjoy dining at one of our fabulous restaurants. This holiday season, experience shopping and dining in Darien.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Why cook it all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Today's coffee break is brought to you by Sears Appliance and Hardware in Shelton. This busy holiday season, you can find great deals and gifts. Shop appliances, tools, hardware, plumbing, and electrical supplies, as well as a vast selection of home, lawn, and garden equipment with the guidance of friendly and knowledgeable staff. Conveniently located at 705 Bridgeport Avenue in Shelton, close to Stratford, stop by Sears Appliance and Hardware or reach them at 203-929-9004. Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including that a Bridgeport man was sentenced to more than 10 years in federal prison in connection to an armed robbery spree in 2014 that involved Fairfield, Bridgeport, Shelton, and Westport, along with an attempted armed robbery in Stratford. Derek Gilliam, 30 years old, received 121 months of imprisonment, followed by 3 years of supervised release, in a sentence handed down by Chief U.S. District Judge Janet C. Hall in Bridgeport on Tuesday. According to court documents and statements made in court, Gilliam, along with another suspect, Lancelot Supersod, and others, committed robberies at several banks and businesses. Gilliam also brandished and pointed what appeared to be a handgun at employees during each of those 7 robberies. And Milford police said they pursued burglary suspects down Interstate 95 when it resulted in a crash in the Milford area. At least one suspect remains at large, according to police, and WFSB reports that call initially came in around 5 a.m. when an eyewitness reported seeing people loading power equipment from a shed into a van in the area of Naugatuck Avenue near Beaverbrook Road. The caller noticed a van idling in the roadway as men loaded objects into it. A local officer responded and saw the suspects flee but didn't initiate pursuit. Instead, he radioed other officers, including a canine unit, who spotted the van. Police said they anticipated the suspects to flee, so they had officers ready ahead of the suspects' projected route. Once they tried to stop the vehicle, the driver of that van lost control and it struck a Milford Police canine SUV, which was positioned ahead of them. 2 of the 3 suspects inside the vehicle were captured right away, and they're expected to be hit with burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle charges. They suffered some minor injuries. One suspect received injuries from the crash. The other suffered a bite wound from the police canine. The third remains on the loose, police said. He's described as a light-skinned male in his 20s. The officer in the canine SUV was not seriously injured. And Wilton police rescued a man trapped inside a burning car on New Canaan Road last Wednesday, November 23rd, around 8:45 at night. 26-year-old Hunter Stanfield of 30 Bittersweet Trail was removed from the car before fire engulfed the entire vehicle. The car was in the roadway on New Canaan Road. An officer supplied first aid, and the man went to Norwalk Hospital with minor injuries. The incident resulted in that roadway being closed for a period of time, and police say there is a pending criminal investigation in that case. And finally, it is the season for tree lightings around Connecticut, but the weather last night wasn't ideal. Stratford Star editor Melvin Mason captured some video of Stratford residents with Mayor John Harkins staying dry but still enjoying the tree lighting. Check it out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The Stratford High Chorus also performed, bringing some holiday cheer. Check it out. Thanks so much to Melvin Mason for those videos from Stratford. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for one final look at the forecast.
Thank you, Kate. Foggy this morning. It is overcast now. There is rain expected later on this afternoon. We'll see on and off showers that will continue on until the early hours of Thursday morning. Mostly cloudy tomorrow in the AM with mild conditions, an expected high of 57, and we should see intervals of sunshine and clouds later on in the afternoon. Breezy as well tomorrow, but temperatures will begin to drop before what will be a cold Thursday night. And Friday, we should see plenty of sunshine after finally getting some rain in the county. Cool conditions and a high of 52 degrees. Will be very breezy throughout the afternoon. Chilly overnight and mostly clear, but it looks like we will be surrounded with clouds for Saturday and Sunday this weekend.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. CT Pulse with myself and Josh Fisher coming up at 12:30. We're going to be talking more about neighbors in Ridgefield upset about a proposed drug rehab facility that wants to open up in their neighborhood. And of course, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. Don't miss that. We'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day and stay dry.